last hadn't slept much the previous night, for he was worrying about his son Hiccup, who had not come home. At first light, a search party set out and quickly found Fishlegs' note, and so they were already halfway to Berserk when they saw the island was on fire. Fire! Fire! Berserk is on fire! By the time the hooligan search party reached the island, most of the Berserks had already escaped, headed who knows where. Some prisoners were still trapped in the very tops of the trees and had taken off shirts or trousers and were waving them from above their heads to make themselves visible to their rescuers. Soon the scene was one of shouting chaos, with the rescuers trying to spot the trapped Vikings through the smoke and shouting orders to one another. "I found one here!" Or "There's more down on the tree, down in that tree there," before flying down to safety. What an excellent bonfire, smiled Snot-Face Snot-Nose when he arrived at the scene of the conflagration. "I suppose it is too much to hope that the useless was in the middle of it and burnt himself down to a little useless crisp." It was too much for Snot-Nose to hope for. Just Eric's immense relief. Right at the back of the beach was a semicircle of fiancés, blackened and weary, and in the middle of the semicircle were Fishlegs, Kamikaze, Hiccup, and Humongously Hotshot, the hero. "Humongous!" spelled Doric, for once deeply relieved to see the irritatingly perfect hero. "You saved my life, son, again!" "No," said Humongous, putting his hand on Hiccup's shoulder. "This time he saved mine." "And we completed the impossible task," said Fishlegs, proudly opening the oyster pot and pointing at 5 full pots of honey inside. "And I found 11 other people who actually want to marry Princess Tantrum," said Hiccup, pointing at the fiancés. Fishlegs looked at the lobster pot full of honey, and then he gave the lobster pot to Humongously Hotshot. "Are you sure?" said Humongous. "Yes," said Fishlegs. The fiancé before laughed was who Tantrum really loved. The other fiancés found that their love for Tantrum Ugly had been rather dwindled after their experiences on the island of Berserk. So in their case, it can't have been true love after all. So it was rather a good test. First fiancé: "And we will stand beside you, Humongous, when you go to claim your bride." "I feel like a bit of a set too with Ugly Ugly." "Woo!" Kamikaze said, swishing her sword. "Me too! Yippee! I can't wait to spill some ugly thud bud." "No way," said Stirrup firmly. "I'm taking you back to your mother." "Whose chief do you think you are?" said Kamikaze in disappointment, but Stirrup would not give way. Looking for Kamikaze was what got them in this mess in the first place, and he wasn't going to take the risk of her getting lost again. "Don't worry, we will rescue your Stormfly for you," said Humongous. "Word of a hero." "You may need this," said Hiccup. He fished around in his pocket and took something out and gave it to Humongous. It was a key. The key that opens all locks. The one that Toothless swallowed. And that chapter 23 is called. I like that one. We'll have that tomorrow. How the Ugly Thug finally lost his daughter.